don't you just ruminate whilst I illuminate the possibilities? Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the Curious Canvas. We back on episode 12. We are your hosts, Jem and Peekay. And today's episode's a bit different.
We're going to try something that we haven't done before, show a bit of range. We don't have a specific topic that we're that we're talking about. We're just going to flow off a recommended list or things that are trending in the world right now and see what what opinions we've got on it.
Or whatever pops up, right?
Or whatever pops up, yeah.
One thing that we were just talking about, because I was, obviously it's the weekend right now, and I said, what are you doing on the weekend? And the first thing you said, like, oh, bro, this Sunday, the fight.
Oh, yeah, the fights.
Bro, who do you got?
Yeah.
What are you going for?
The few big fights on the, like the main one, Khabib Gaethje, Australia's Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Whittaker. I'm going to go Khabib's too strong. I think Whittaker will win a close 3-rounder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll win by decision. And shout out to our boy Tai Tuivasa. I think he's going to chop, and knock out Stefan Struve and stop him. Those are the three main fights that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
What about you?
Same. I'm going for Whittaker. I reckon he's winning. With the Khabib and Gaethje fight, yes, 100% I'm going for Khabib.
Yeah.
But with everything he's kind of going through, like the loss of his father, the first time fighting without his father, like as much as Khabib's, he's GOAT. He's like going to be, it'll be 29 wins in O. Yeah. And then, not sure what the last fight will be, but this fight definitely it will be Khabib. Yeah. But in saying that, Gaethje's a really good fighter.
He's really good, bro.
He's super good.
Especially what he did to Ferguson last fight. My goodness.
That shot me down.
I don't want to count him out, but Khabib's just another level.
Well, that's the thing that I think everyone's keeps talking about. Everyone always kept saying Ferguson could be the one that stops Khabib. But then ever since Gaethje stepped into the picture and shut down Tony, now everyone's just like, you know what, this might be the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm 100%. I'm like feeling like an 80% vibe on Khabib, of course. But that 20% is only because just mentally, first fight without his father, and just everything. It's pretty recent too, ish.
Yeah. Have you? I should have sent it to you throughout the week. But did you watch that animation that they made for? Oh, you did watch it.
Yeah, I did watch it.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk on that. So. The BT Sports, the UK, I think they're like ESPN kind of thing. Yeah. They made that animation about Khabib's career and his relationship with his father, and it was.
It goes for like 3 minutes ish, not even.
Someone was cutting onions in my office while I was watching it.
What? Oh, you got you.
Someone was cutting onions. It was So they go from where him and his dad in Dagestan.
It was emotional. It's super emotional.
Especially if you have a good not even a good relationship with your... you know what? Just as a human.
Yeah.
This guy's a good guy. But like, I thought of, when my dad would come out to when he came out to my fights back when I used to fight, or like my basketball games, or when he used to take me to tennis. And then it just reminded me of that. And Khabib's father is my dad's age. And I'm just watching it. It's a whole, you get that vibe. And then I was thinking of, like the story goes through from when he started his career wrestling bears as a kid. And then he went over to, started MMA wrestling and then went to the UFC. And then his dad was denied his visa, couldn't
watch any of his fights.
Only on TV, but you could see how proud he was in the animation.
Yeah.
And then finally he...
At Dubai. When he versed...
Abu Dhabi.
What was it? Who was he fighting again? Oh, my God.
Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, Dustin Poirier.
That was only early this year. Oh, no.
At the end of
late last year.
Like October-ish?
Yeah.
Same time this year? Yeah, that was the first time he actually watched, as in UFC.
Yeah.
That, I don't know. Like, see, that's what I mean. The animation, though, super strong. Super strong. Like, it's
only 2 minutes and it just...
It hits you. I think because you know why it's real event. And it was pretty recent. I think like what 3 months.
A few months ago, yeah, his father passed away due to coronavirus.
That's what I mean. As in with this whole fight, like yes, Khabib, in my eyes, he is gonna win, but it's a lot. It's just because it's so recent. It didn't just happen like at the start of the year. Like 3 months ago is pretty. That's pretty
but
recent.
Then, you know, when it comes to fighting, especially, your reason for fighting or your why is a big thing for you to get up or for you to do something great, right? His father's dream for him was to fight and go 30-0 and win. Could you imagine Khabib not fulfilling that? Like he would just be like,
No,
I think even more now. He's just gonna be like 29. He done. Then maybe GSP for the 30th.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a good conversation there. Who do you think should be the number 30? Win or lose, it doesn't matter.
I'd like to see Khabib. I mean, sorry, not Khabib. I'd like to see GSP.
I think everyone would, because that's. So this is actually, I had this conversation with one of my mates.
Yeah.
Yes, GSP would be amazing.
Yeah.
A part of me wants that Tony Ferguson fight.
Oh yeah,
it would
that'd
just
be nice too.
I just feel like if Khabib retired and then because I don't know why that never lined up. Well, it's happened 4 times.
5 times.
5 times.
At least 5 times.
That's like
so many reasons why. There was injuries, pullouts.
The weight cuts were probably the biggest one.
And the other one was the last one was because a fucking pandemic hit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then Khabib didn't want to fight because he was like, "Why would I come back to America?" They tried to move it to Moscow. That didn't happen. They moved it. He moved it, and he's just like, "No, I'm gonna stay home." And then everyone was like, "Oh, he's scared of Ferguson." He's like, "No, I'm worried. There's a pandemic going. Why would I want to fight?" And
get locked up and get like then he has to stay in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would have been trapped in America for like.
And Conor was like, "Oh, you're scared. Look at this guy. I can't believe he wouldn't fight." But then the whole stuff about and then they said his father was sick, and then he tried to play it out as if he was just making shit up.
Yeah.
And his father actually passed away from coronavirus. So that was crazy for all of that to happen within the space of a few months. But 2020, so much weird things have happened this year. So you can't be surprised or shocked with that.
Yeah, well, 2 more months since the end of it. But then, who knows what will happen on 21?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's positive vibes. Obviously,
yeah,
but
positive vibes.
That's it. With the Khabib fight though, I like how they're kind of playing it off like that Rocky type of vibe, as in like America versus Russia.
Yeah. Well, Gaethje's trying to do that. He's trying to make it out as if it's America versus Russia. But Khabib's got such a big fan base that everyone loves him.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
He's a superstar, and it isn't like, oh, he's a Russian and hate that guy. No, I watch this guy and I'm like, this is a guy, humble dude, speaks well, even if English isn't his first language. You can tell he's a genuinely nice, morally sound and high valued guy.
Oh yeah,
he'd be one of your good mates,
He feels like someone who, like, when you watch in a movie, like he's the superhero of this movie.
And I like his relationship with DC. They got
I love that. DC's amazing. That, you know what? So this annoyed me. You know when DC and John Jones had their whole episode, like with their episodes, I never got why everyone didn't like DC in that moment, because John Jones is very dislikable.
He is very dislikable, and I see it now. And watching all of DC's, him and Ariel Helwani, they have an MMA show. He's very likable, DC. I've started to only like him the past year or so. And John Jones, everything he does and talks, I'm just like, man, I've always been the biggest fan of his. Like, he's been my favorite UFC fighter. But he's so easy to hate. All the shit he's done, anyone else, you would just hate him for what he's done. Like, he's a shit person in a way. But he's a great fighter, so
I
love his fighting, but
sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you have to separate. Sometimes you have to kind of separate the athlete and the actual person and who they are, which is pretty hard sometimes. Yeah. Like, as much as I don't like, who's a fighter I don't like? All right, okay. So me personally, I don't like Masvidal.
Oh yeah. I've slowed.
But everyone who I know loves him.
Yeah.
And I get the reasons why.
Right.
To point, I mean, he came from freaking backyard fighting with Kimbo Slice in Miami. So what's not to like about that? But what he did to Ben Askren, I don't know. Like, you know when you see fights where the guy gets knocked out and then they're just like, all right, that's it. He's had enough. Ben Askren was out, but he got those 2 cheap shots in.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
But he was out. But he was out though.
The ref did it. He didn't know. The ref wasn't on him.
Bro, he was like a log, bro.
Yeah, but you don't know. Like in the heat of the moment, until someone stops you, it's you don't know. You don't know until especially how quick he went down, and from getting down, he saw him. He could have. You never know how within 1 second, Askren could have got up, try to change up, level up, get up. But nah, you got to go until the ref stops you. That's all. That's all I think. You can't, in that split second, in the heat of the moment, you're not gonna think, oh, he's out. Like, I'm gonna stop. Especially if there's so much animosity between each other.
That's true. Well, I think it was
I'm
more.
just gonna keep whacking this guy until someone stops me.
I think it was more on Masvidal's side. But what do you mean? What do you mean? That's a different episode altogether, guys.
Robbie's gonna love that one. That's cool. But yeah.
Okay, so let's.
So yeah, we've been watching UFC. What you been? Wrestling.
Oh, by the way, we're flicking through.
Oh yeah, we're just flicking through something. What about what have you been watching recently?
Oh, what happened? Oh, I watched oh my god, I forget his name. Netflix's. How am I forgetting his name now? David. I sent you it. David. David.
Attenbrough. David
Attenbrough.
Yeah,
I watched his documentary about you know how he's always doing neighbors, but like he's amazingly doing everything with neighbors, nature.
Yeah.
So this was pretty much talking about what the world could look like.
In the next
10, 20,
yeah.
30, 40, then goes to 100 years.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it's in like when you with the world crisis, what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can the world sustain what we're doing right now when it comes to how much food we're eating, when it comes to how much land we're taking, and like I'm not the most like
environmentally
friendly guy. Yeah, to be upfront. Like, yeah, I love nature and everything, but when I think about things that I see people doing, I see people who like literally like recycle all the time. I know sometimes I don't do that. Or when it comes to just things, even just things we eat, because like a big proportion of the world is meat eaters.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big thing. Like, imagine not being here in 10. Like, imagine not being when you have kids and they ask you like, what's a hippo or what's a tiger?
Oh yeah, there's so many animals that are going to be extinct in the next few years.
Yeah, like look at when you think about the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
Was Tasmanian devil? Yeah, Tasmanian. Yeah.
No, the tiger's gone.
Tasmanian tiger. Yeah, when you see like those old black and white clips of that, it looks beautiful, and it's a shame that we can't see it unless we see it like on like a statue or something or something stuffed.
Yeah, so much is. That's what they always have these. That's why we always in politics. There's always what's it called? They're trying to. Not environmentally friendly, but...
Is it Greens? Or not Greens?
No, not the Greens, but they're... Within their policies, they're trying to fix the environment.
Yeah,
They're putting
the global warming and everything.
Global warming, you're right. Yeah, that's the one. But I think we need to do that because... just the way all the electricity, everything that we do, the carbon footprint that we're leaving, people are telling us, scientists... people say some people are saying it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I don't know how hard of a conspiracy it can be because. Do you remember the bushfires at the start of the year?
Yeah.
How bad that was in Australia? It was like our worst one, and like 500 million wildlife died.
The habitat of like koalas were like a lot of it was wiped out.
And a lot of and then so that was our summer. Like remember December, January, we'd walk outside and it was red, black.
It looks like an apocalypse.
Yeah. The same shit was happening in California like 2 weeks ago because it's about to be their summer.
Oh.
So, how can you say that things aren't changing for the worse.
Well,
There
I
needs to
mean-
be change to at least let the world heal a bit, but I don't know. No one who really has the answer for that.
Well, like historically, we've had so many changes. When you look at 10 years from before, like 10 years, 20 years beforehand, we've seen like the ice caps being melted. I'm like,
Yeah.
you see
Or the
if
water levels rising, islands getting lost.
so. One thing that they put into the Netflix that the documentary. So 10 years ago, there was he made a documentary called Frozen. So it's pretty much all Arctic based,
Yeah.
pretty much. So there's a lot of places that they could not go to because it was all frozen. But now you can sail a boat all the way to that island. But before, it was impossible for anyone to ever touch that
ice.
island because of all the ice.
Yeah.
But now you can literally sail there on a boat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I actually watched the presidential debate yesterday while I was working, and they were trying to the pros, not pros and cons, but what they want to fix it up, but then it's gonna come at a cost, and then the cost always comes down to just having to spend money, or you're gonna lose jobs in the economy. So they're saying stuff like the oil refineries in America, or moving away from gas and from oil to go to electricity. You're gonna lose like millions of jobs in America that work on oil,
Yeah.
and you're gonna lose all that. And then your economy is gonna stagger. So it's always are we willing to in this world that we live in, especially Western society, where it is what's the word? It'll come back to me, but where money is the motive for everyone,
Yeah.
how much work they keep bringing it back to money. Like, it's going to cost more to do this, everyone's going to get taxed more. Are we willing to do that to save the environment? Well, they're just thinking very short-sightedly, because one day there will be no world like what we see now, or it will look like all the movies that we watch, where it's just,
Yeah.
they're living, I don't know if they're living on different planets, but it's dark. It's just nobody go outside, just stay inside because it's dirty. It's
Well, like when you look at a lot of movies that take that realistic approach on what it's going to look like in 100 years from now.
like Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner. But like, as in, we can't go outside,
Yeah.
or there's a certain spot, or even oh my god, there was I forgot what it
I
was.
can't think of the word now. What's the word that? Oh, because we live in a capitalist economy, like a capitalist world, especially the US and Australia as well. Everyone's just trying to make the most money that they can. So they just think of the money, and not think of other people, other beings that live on this earth. It's just all about me and my money.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna, and that's gonna be the problem that we have in this world all the time. Even when it comes, you can see that's always the problem in the US, the most capitalist country in the world, when it comes to guns and reform and police and everything. It's because of money, and it's just I feel like it's so backwards out there. It's very backwards out there. Yeah.
What about you? What have you been watching?
You know what I brought up to you last week? The Hollywood Reporter, they do like a big table talk.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Me and Chelsea, we've been watching. I tried to put it on her because I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and Chelsea's aspiring to be an actress one day, and I put her on there, and they've got like the one I watched. There was some big stars on it: Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, Jamie Foxx,
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf,
It was
all on the one table.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, I didn't even know this show was on, but I'm slow. I'm sure a lot of people have watched it.
There's a couple of different episodes, but I had the one that you sent me. I didn't have a chance to watch it, but I saw one with it was with the one with Will Smith and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh no, I haven't watched that.
That's
No.
probably my
It's a
favorite
good
one.
Yeah. What I like about it is being able to see. We see these guys on screen. They're portraying a character, but then you see the actual person on the table and who they really are.
Yeah.
Unless you really follow them. Like I follow Jamie Foxx, so I know how he is when he talks to people, how he is on video, when he goes to basketball events, when he goes to singing, when he sings, he's at concerts. But then you don't see like what Robert De Niro is like behind if you don't really follow him, or a Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Or a Shia LaBeouf. And you can tell on this table, Shia LaBeouf's very reserved. He's an introvert. He just doesn't really.
Yeah, you
when
can
he
see
talks,
that.
he just wants to. He wants to say his part, and then he breathes and then
Yeah.
he just relaxes. And then there's Jamie Foxx. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, he holds a room when he story tells. Everyone's listening to him. Like he lights up a room. He's funny. Everyone's laughing at his jokes. And then there's Robert De Niro when he's talking. Everyone's glued onto him with respect.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like
Just
he'll
Robert De
hold
Niro,
that. Yeah.
he'll hold that, and everyone's just listening and holding on to every little word he says. And for people that are, I guess, just fans of these people, it would be a great watch. What's it called? The roundtable of the Hollywood Reporter. But like, imagine if you're an aspiring actress like Chelsea, or like an actor.
Yeah.
To be. This is where you're gonna gain your knowledge if you want to get into that.
Yeah.
To that place, because these guys are telling them.
Because these aren't just like, these are superstars.
The top of the crop.
Yeah.
And they are putting in word, like this is like a Bible for actors. You know, like they're talking about what was the hardest thing for you, like your adversities. What was they asked, I think they said, what was the Will Smith? Oh, maybe I did. Oh, no, that was on something else. But they asked Will Smith, what was your biggest regret? He goes, I don't really have regrets, but he talked about Wild Wild West that he didn't.
Yeah.
He mentioned that, right?
Yeah, he said like so he had a chance to play Neo in The Matrix, which was a #1 movie when it came out.
He did mention that. Yeah.
But he, instead of picking to play Neo, he chose to play Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
I love Wild Wild West personally.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
some people like it.
I loved it,
Yeah.
and I could see. I mean, but when you put it next to Matrix,
Yeah.
it ain't holding a candle.
Yeah. And he's like the people that were. I actually watched. It was called The Shop, which is HBO's The Shop with LeBron and
Yeah. Drake's been on it, right? Drake's been on it. Yeah.
I think
It's like a barber thing. Yeah.
And they're all just talking to that. Yeah. Drake's been on it.
Yeah.
Drake's been on it. Yeah, and Will Smith was.
How
on
am I
that
giving? How am
episode.
I telling you this, bro?
Will Smith's been on it, and he goes. They all asked him. They're like, Matrix. Who were you gonna play? He goes, Neo. He goes, I was gonna play Neo, and everyone's like, yeah, but I decided to do Wild Wild West. Like,
Yeah. You know who he was supposed to play as well? So he was supposed to play Django.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I would have liked that, but the way so.
No, I like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. I love Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx did an incredible job. So, because Samuel L. Jackson was on that table, right? So when they asked one random actor, he asked them like, "Oh, so like, you had a chance to play Django, right?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, how come that didn't come together?" And it seemed like he wanted to sidestep it.
Yeah.
But then, like, because he wasn't talking about it, then Samuel L. Jackson said, "Yeah, you didn't want to play it. You Tarantino tried calling you, but you didn't want to do the part." No, but with that part though, I just hit myself. Yeah, with that part though, I don't know. I could have saw him in Jamie Foxx's role.
Yeah.
You?
Definitely. I think both of them are very. You could contrast that they're very kind of the same.
I wouldn't say that.
No?
I wouldn't say that. Acting wise,
yeah,
I would not say
but
that.
I could see him as Django. Yeah, I could see Will Smith as Django.
Yeah.
He could have played a good Django. I got nothing more to say about that, but I think he could have
On to the next one.
Roy Jones on Joe Rogan Experience. Oh, Roy Jones versus Mike Tyson.
Oh, how do you feel about
that's
that?
this month. I don't know.
I think it's super dangerous.
Yeah, for Roy Jones.
No, for both of them. They're both old. But you know what?
50s.
Everyone's all hyped up with Tyson and Roy Jones getting back in the ring together. If you look, you're a boxing fan. I'm pretty sure a lot of like your family is boxing fans as well.
Oh, Pacquiao fan.
Yeah, like when we were in America, like your family was going ape with it. It's amazing. Like I'm sure, like, let's say 10 years from now or 20 years from now, if Pacquiao wanted to get back in the ring, like, by that time, I'm sure he'd be retired. Yes, a part of you would be like, yes, you're going to drop this guy, whoever he's facing. But at the same time, like, if something happened to Pacquiao, like, if he got dropped and it was something dangerous because he's not a young man anymore where he can recover, then, like, that's why I'm, like, again, with this fight, I'm kind of against it. I get it is passionate because it gives you that Rocky type of feel, because when in Rocky 6, when he comes back against a young fighter and everyone loves it, but then if he died in it,
it's a different story.
There'd be no Creed.
I think I feel for Roy Jones when it comes to this fight. I think when I see Mike Tyson still hitting with explosiveness on the pads is a whole different thing to actually sparring and fighting. I don't know how he's going in sparring, but you know, they said it was an exhibition. Point. You know, they said it was an exhibition for 8 rounds. Roy Jones in the interview with Joe Rogan actually said they changed rules. At first they gave him the contract. They said like headgear.
Oh, to Roy Jones?
Yeah, they're like, there's going to be headgear. And then they kind of slowly like took it away. And then they said, no knockouts. Bro, how can you go no knockouts with Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He knows 0 to 110 and that's it.
That's the whole reason why we're watching this.
Yeah, and Roy Jones, he fought last 2 years ago, 2018. Mm-hmm. And he fought, I think, I'm not wrong, 2010, 2011, he fought Danny Green.
Yeah.
When he came here. Yeah. I don't know if he
took a dive,
but he did get clipped up here, but Danny Green knocked him out.
I believe that was a dive.
Yeah, I think it was a dive too. But you know, seeing that and how Roy Jones used to be, and then just getting knocked out by Danny Green. I'm not saying Danny Green's a scrub, but like it's Roy Jones. To have a fight against Mike Tyson, even if he's 54, the way I saw him hitting pads, he's explosive still. He's explosive on the pads.
Yeah, but how long was he on the pads for? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's Mike Tyson. If he stepped to me, I'm like, literally, I'm sorry, sir. No. But
at 54, hitting the pads like that, even if it was for 15 seconds, the way he's moving. Yeah, it's a scary sight. So even if he did that,
do you know when the fight's gonna happen?
Let me see.
I think they must be waiting when like there's actual fans, because that's a
no, they're not doing fans.
They're not doing fans.
It's gonna be this year. Date. November, Saturday 28th of November, Sunday 29th of November for us. It'll probably be on 29th of November for us. Yeah, I don't know about that. It'll be. Well, I'm sure the whole boxing world will be watching it.
Do you know why? Do you reckon? Do you remember Joe Rogan said the same thing with this? So I think this all happened at the end of last year or this year. No, this all happened this year, as in like with Mike Tyson wanting to get back in the ring. I know. But do you remember I think a year before that he was just like wasn't into the whole fight game. He was like
he hated his old self, his championship self. He hated it. His ego. Yeah. He wanted to keep his ego down. And that's just my ego. Like the way he was talking, it was like spiritually. He was he took DMT and he was awakened and he did. He was a whole new person, and within a year, I watched it. He went back on Joe Rogan and he was explaining. Joe Rogan goes, "What happened? You were telling me." He goes, "Man, I was just feeling the itch." He goes, "That's why I didn't want to ever train. Like he didn't want to go in the gym. But then his wife told him, you should like exercise.
Get back in shape.
Something like that. Yeah. Or something like that. Like do small things. And then he slowly did it. And then this fire, he's a fighter, bro. This fire just burnt inside him.
I mean, it's still scary.
The ego came through. Yeah. And his ego, you know.
I just hope when they do the press conferences, I'm curious how he's going to be in those situations. Because that's also a part of Mike Tyson's.
I don't know why they haven't done anything for it yet.
Oh wait, if it's in November.
They haven't done any like events.
Press.
But then there's no fans as well, so I don't know.
No, but like it's still
no press.
That's still something that we would see though. Who would watch?
For sure. What we got? With Khabib Gaethje. Oh, this is gonna be all your.
Yeah, it's all pretty much my random stuff. So it's pretty much just wrestling, UFC,
games,
movies, and video games.
What's his gaming video walkthroughs? How you doing with? When's PS5 come out?
Okay, so PS5 officially comes out in November.
Yeah.
But it's sold out. Just so
it
you guys
really
know.
is?
Yeah.
You letting me know or Chelsea know?
I'm just letting the world know. You just girlfriends and everyone. or friends.
So it's sold out in Australia or around the world?
So pre-orders,
Yep.
they're all sold out now. So before the EB and JB High Five, they all made a mistake with doing $50 for what, pre-sales? Not pre-sales?
Yeah.
Pre-sales. But then that went super high. So then they put it up to 200, and then that that went super high as well. So now it's sold out. To the next pre-orders will be in January, and then that's gonna be a pre-order.
And this is for both the disc one and the digital one.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I don't know. I'm curious with the prices range. Sorry, so the price range is now gonna be, so digital is now gonna be 500-ish to 600. So that's just with no disc.
Yeah.
With the disc, it's 700, nearly to 800.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Like, you look at the graphics. The graphics are on another level.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth buying. Me and you had this conversation with Angelo. We went for the run.
Yep.
The other day. Is it worth buying it straight away? Not so much, because there's not many games for it.
Yeah.
Waiting for it.
Wait a bit.
Yeah, for the prices to drop. Especially because the comparisons graphics wise for PS5 and PS4. It's not a leap.
Yeah, it's not a leap.
It's not a leap.
I don't think so.
It will be a leap.
Oh, it will?
It will. Because when you look at PS4
games,
and PS3, if you look at the newer games, I don't know how they do it, but when PS4 first came out, and then you look at the end of the run now, graphics just got so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works, whereas in how the software improves, but it's the same software that we had 8 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I'm gonna wait until GTA, and by then, when GTA comes out, it will be the price will definitely drop by then.
I'm just gonna wait for. I don't know. I'll probably wait for a game that intrigues me, that makes you want to buy it. Like Spider-Man's good, the Miles Morales one that's coming out.
Speaking of Spider-Man, you hear they're making a movie with all the different Spider-Mans. Did you tell me that already?
Yeah. So Spider-Man,
what's his name? Tobey Maguire.
So Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Tom Holland. They're all going to be starring in Spider-Man 3.
But how are they gonna make that work?
So Doctor Strange #2 is coming out.
Yeah.
And apparently that's gonna start off different dimensions. And I think somehow they're going to relate that into the next Spider-Man. Because Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire have already said yes now to it. Yeah. So before it was just a rumor where we're all hoping for it. Yeah. But now it's actually official. I'm excited for this because I love Andrew Garfield. Did you ever watch any of the Amazing Spider-Mans with Andrew Garfield?
I don't know.
Jamie Foxx played Electro. And Jamie Foxx is coming back, by the way, into the new Spider-Man, which is... weird because it's I think he's coming along with Andrew Garfield. I don't know how that will work, but yeah, I'm excited for that. Do you reckon they will cast Miles Morales soon? Or?
That's what I wanted to know. I was just about to ask you, is he going to be in it as well?
I don't think so. And
they're all going to be Peter Parker, right?
Yeah. So in the Spider-Verse, it's just different dimensions, but different versions of Spider-Man. And different Peter Parkers.
Spider-Verse, yeah.
And this is probably the first of its kind when you think of it, because... they are kind of doing that with Batman as well.
Do you reckon there's a different PK in a different universe? Fuck, he'd be a weird cunt.
No, he would. Compared to me.
You reckon he's still got the same dance moves?
No, I don't mean, bro. And I'd battle him too.
I reckon he'd smash him up.
Oh, please, bro. Could you
imagine another PK in another fucking universe? Fuck me dead, bro.
Where are you?
Wearing a Sailor Moon t-shirt.
You know what would bother me? What is wrong with Sailor Moon? You know what? Speaking of Sailor Moon, sorry, off topic a little bit, but that's what this episode's about right now. Sailor Moon, did you ever watch it as a kid?
I watched a bit of it here and there. Wait, 1 second. Keep talking because what's it called? No, I just need to fix something real quick.
Okay. All right. So.
I should have put that on earlier.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Sailor Moon. You ever watched it
I used to watch it when it was on Cheese TV.
So you watched like
Sailor Moon, then Pokemon would be on.
Yeah. All right, so I loved watching Sailor Moon as a kid.
Yeah.
And I loved.
I can tell, but yeah, continue.
Do you remember Tuxedo Mask?
No.
No, this the guy. It was like, he was all right. So he was like the
Bad guy.
No, he was a bad guy, but then he became the love interest of Sailor Moon. So anyway, so the thing I don't like about it, so my little sisters watched it, Moi and Sarah, and like all my sisters love watching it, but I didn't want them to watch it when they first watched it because so in the anime, she's 15, she's a superhero with all her friends, high school. This guy is the love interest.
How old is he?
So no, they never like say the age range, but this guy has his own apartment. He's driving a drop top car, a convertible. I'm like, you are not 15. I'm like, you're probably 25. Because when I was younger, I was like, yeah, Tuxedo Mask. Oh, I want to be that superhero.
Yeah.
And then
you become him.
No.
No wonder why you love Sailor Moon so much. Okay, PK is not a pedo. I'm just joking around. Just so that everyone knows.
It's not, there is an age limit.
But young still, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, like, it's over 21. They have to be over 21 now. This is a different conversation.
So yeah, you're Tuxedo Man. You're living his life
It's
now.
Tuxedo Mask.
Oh, it's
Tuxedo. It's not Tuxedo Man. What were you doing? So wait, were you watching? So you watched Cheese TV, obviously. So you watched Pokemon. What was your favorite Pokemon?
Toasted TV.
What was your favorite Pokemon?
No, you asked me this question the other time. It wasn't my favorite Pokemon, but you asked me the question of when you played Pokemon.
Oh, who was your starter Pokemon?
Yeah. And then you even guessed it before I even told you.
It was Pikachu.
Nah, it was either Pikachu
or Charmander.
And then what'd you say? Why?
I'm just like, well, I said Pikachu because he's always he's at the forefront. Because everyone it's
Pikachu. It's Pikachu. Yeah.
And everyone likes Charmander.
No, you said something else about Charmander. There was something else I remember you said. But yeah.
No, I like Squirtle.
Yeah, you.
Hydro Pump.
Man. What's the name? What's on Borat 2.
I haven't.
Borat 2. Have you seen the trailers for this?
No, I haven't.
Bro, this is gonna be funny as well. I remember that first one and just everything he says. Bro, he takes it to another level of just being
funny. What's the actor's name again? Oh wait, go back. Sacha Baron.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah. You know who he's dating? That is
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. Yeah.
Aussie girl.
Like
they've
it's
been
so.
together for years, married.
It's so crazy how like they came about though. Like I never thought them two would be kind of together.
Yeah. But he's different when he. I saw him. He was on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was just being. He wasn't. Not Sacha Baron Cohen. Borat was.
Yeah.
And bro, he just the next level funny. Eh?
And he stays in character too.
Yeah, stays in character and just he does things so outlandish. You're just like.
Yeah.
Remember when our episode about PC culture? Like this guy is the. Like, Other way. There were on the trailer. The funniest trailer part that I watched was he comes into so they're in the US. They're not in Kazakhstan. They're in the US, and then he goes in with his daughter. And then they're at the doctor's, and then he goes, I don't know how to interpret Borat, but he goes, I don't want to do it.
Do the accent. Do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do the accent.
This is bad content.
Do it.
Get ripped for this. It'll be a meme one day. No, but he goes in. He goes, like, he goes, I got her pregnant. I got her pregnant, and it's his daughter.
Oh.
And then the doctor's like, huh? And he goes, my daughter, I got her pregnant, but I want to take it out. I want to take it out. Oh. Just watch the trailer. It's funny. It's funny in that way.
I'll watch the trailer then.
I want to take it. Nah, I can't do it.
I want to take it out.
Oh, you know what? But it is. Let's watch it and let's talk about it next time because it's out on Amazon already.
Oh,
do you have Amazon Prime? I'll give you my login.
I'm good with that.
But,
WWE Network. Shut up.
I'll give you my Amazon Prime log in, and then you can watch it. They didn't go cinema. Okay, here we go. They didn't go the cinema, and it went straight to video on demand to a platform, and they didn't make anyone pay for it. And a lot of people, because they want to watch Borat, would subscribe to Amazon for Borat itself.
But do you think?
And then they may stay around, but at least they've got that first month membership, or like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they will do a free membership, but they haven't got anyone paid. But they paid for the rights to Borat. The Borat has been paid. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Would you say Borat? Are you gonna compare Borat to Mulan?
Bro, Borat's quite big.
It's big. It is big.
Cult-wise, like culturally, it's big. I think it's gonna. I don't know how big the ratings are, but I know what you mean.
But that's like saying, yeah, but like, because it's a number 2 as well. It's not like the first of its kind. Yeah, it's like we talked about this before, but like Dumb and Dumber at the time was one of the biggest films, or even like an Adam Sandler film at the time when like Big Daddy or Happy Gilmore. Yeah, the first time when it first came out, amazing. Yeah. But if they did a Happy Gilmore Part 2. It's not going to be like the first time around. Yeah. With movies like this, though, with Borat 2, and I'm sure there's a lot more other films coming out to digital platforms. I see the reason why they're doing it now. Yeah. Because they could tell, like, that Tenet movie that came out. I watched the movie recently in the cinemas. And I don't know, it was different because it was kind of nice because there was barely anyone there. But they're not going to make money. A Christopher Nolan film won't make that much money in the box office. And that's only because of what's happening in the world right now. I don't know how much money they'll be getting from digital platforms. I don't know that. But
they'd get a lot because of the amount of subscribers. Plus, it's backed by Amazon. And they just want to build their subscriber so they would get content like Borat. But I don't know how much they get paid, but I know that it'll do well for both parties. I know it'll do well for both parties, especially at a time like with COVID. I remember there's a movie that I wanted to go watch with Chelsea, and we haven't watched it yet. I don't want to go to the cinema. Like,
what film?
I don't know. I don't even know what it's called, but I do want to go watch it, but I don't want to watch it at the cinema. If it was on a video platform, I would have watched it already. So I guess it's just the times. Everyone has to navigate and pivot towards and be more flexible especially with these times and the way they go through. Because they're not going to make money at a cinema. People don't want to go in the cinema.
Next year it's going to be the biggest year for superhero films. Because apparently, like I think Marvel's dropping like 6 movies. Yeah. And then DC is dropping like I think another 2 or 3 movies. Yeah. But that's only because like they're just waiting for fans to come in.
Come back, yeah.
Because it's smart what they're doing. Like, even with the Mulan thing, as much as anyone argues with it, like, I think just the price is stupid. But like, I reckon they did. I gotta check the numbers. I want to know how much money they actually made.
Yeah. I think they did well. But just for us, it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll watch Borat. And then we'll get back to we'll watch Borat, and then we'll get back to next. Are
you gonna do the accent then?
No, maybe I'll practice it through the week. But yeah, that was good.
That was good. Oh yeah.
Episode 11. Oh no,
episode 12.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Oh, that was a lot more closer. That was smoother. I hope you got that.
Was that the exit?
Huh?
Are you gonna say anything for the outro? Oh, that's it.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Master, I don't think you quite realize what you've got here. So why don't you just ruminate whilst I illuminate the possibilities? Well, Alibaba had them for